The new chemical predator, we've extensively documented the opioid tragedy, the slow, paralyzing death caused by fentanyl and trunk. But across the American West and Midwest, a different chemical predator is fueling the crisis, one that doesn't put victims to sleep, but ignites them into a state of chaotic, prolonged psychosis. This is the methamphetamine crisis among the unhoused, a potent disaster that turns chronic homelessness into unpredictable, explosive violence and severe mental illness. In 2025, our streets are not just suffering from lethargy. They are actively dying from a volatile, destructive energy. The chemical contrast and the mental collapse. The chemical contrast is critical. Fentanyl is sedation. Meth is acceleration. While opioids require costly medical intervention to prevent immediate overdose, meth requires intensive, long-term psychiatric intervention to manage the resulting chaos. Its impact is primarily neurological. Methamphetamine induces severe paranoia, auditory hallucinations, and a complete breakdown of cognitive function. This creates a public safety nightmare where individuals are highly unpredictable, often combative, and suffer rapid, profound mental health deterioration, a challenge the already underfunded municipal mental health care systems simply cannot meet. This crisis isn't about apathy, it's about volatility, the inversion of public safety. The meth crisis places an unprecedented, impossible burden on local police and emergency services. Police officers are forced to act as frontline mental health workers, attempting to de-escalate psychotic episodes fueled by chronic meth, use a task they are neither trained nor equipped for. The lack of available psychiatric beds means police often resort to the Revolving Door model we documented in Philadelphia, cycling mentally ill individuals through brief jail stays, which only exacerbates their paranoia and eventual psychosis upon release. The high cost of emergency calls, police overtime, and property damage caused by meth-fueled chaotic behavior drains municipal budgets designed for proactive solutions, ensuring that the system can only afford to manage the chaos, never to cure the root disease. The devastation of community space. Unlike the somber, stationary encampments often associated with opioid use, methamphetamine use creates active, volatile zones that directly compromise public safety and neighborhood stability. The associated property crime, theft, and unpredictable, paranoid behavior drive away businesses and terrorize residents, fundamentally accelerating urban decay at a pace faster than the opioid crisis. This isn't just about addiction, it's about the destruction of the public domain. The chaos prevents effective outreach, makes cleanup operations dangerous, and solidifies the collapse of the social contract. The uncomfortable truth is that the meth crisis demands a level of police and psychiatric intervention that America's cities, crippled by underfunding and political gridlock, are entirely incapable of delivering. The necessity of specialized meth triage. The solution for the meth crisis cannot be the same as the solution for the opioid crisis. Methamphetamine addiction, characterized by its neurological and psychiatric impact, demands a unique public health response. We must move beyond the one-size-fits-all approach and invest heavily in specialized psychiatric triage centers facilities designed specifically for the immediate stabilization of individuals experiencing meth-induced psychosis and severe paranoia. These centers need secure, calm environments and highly trained staff to manage behavioral crises without resorting to punitive force. This specialized care, combined with mandatory, stable housing first, is the only way to break the neurological damage and the destructive cycle of the addiction. The fiscal case for mental health investment, the failure to invest in mental health, is the single biggest fiscal folly of modern American cities. The cost of one individual cycling through psychiatric ERs, police custody, and jail time over the course of a year far outweighs the cost of providing a supportive housing first unit plus specialized psychiatric outpatient care. This isn't just about saving lives, it's about reclaiming taxpayer dollars wasted on ineffective emergency crisis management. The uncomfortable truth is that the political will to fund robust mental health care is often missing because the beneficiaries are the poor and the marginalized, a population that holds minimal political capital. The meth crisis is forcing this question. Will America continue to bleed its budgets dry on police containment, or finally make the overdue infrastructure investment in human mental health? The national policy shift? The existence of two parallel, devastating drug crises, the debilitating lethargy of fentanyl and the chaotic violence of meth, demands a national policy shift. We need a two-pronged public health strategy: low-barrier medical stabilization for opioids and high-intensity psychiatric triage for methamphetamine. This requires unprecedented federal funding directed not towards border walls or bigger police forces, but directly into urban and state mental health infrastructure. We must stop allowing the streets to function as the nation's largest, most dangerous, and most expensive open-air mental asylum. The ethical imperative is to treat the chaos of meth psychosis as seriously as the physical death of an opioid overdose. The final reckoning, beyond apathy. The homeless meth crisis is the ultimate test of America's compassion and fiscal responsibility. It challenges us to abandon the comfortable apathy of containment and the myth that we can police our way out of a public health disaster. The choice is stark. Continue to fund the chaos, or finally make the fundamental infrastructure investment in human mental health. The time for convenient silences is over. Share this documentary to expose the failure of police containment against meth psychosis. Subscribe to America's Uncomfortable Truth as we continue to investigate the systemic flaws that actively drain our cities of both resources and human life.